Oh shit, I don't have my headphones. Well, okay, I do. But
I'm ready to go! Oh, wait, hold on. No, I'm not! Fuck this! Oh, man, what the hell you mean you're ready to go? You're saying you're not ready to go!
Look, I have to watch this TikTok video first.
Oh, by the way, so I'm about to,
Blah, 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 blah.
So I'm currently doing some redesign. Well, I'll talk about it in a minute. We'll start the stream first.
Yeah, we have to wait through the 20-second ad.
Oh, good.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, Twitch is like, oh yeah, they sent this a while ago. They're like, oh yeah, you we're doing higher payouts for our affiliates. You just have to add, like, turn on the automatic ads and set them to be, you can set them however you want, but they have to be at least 3 ads an hour, or like 3 minutes of ads an hour, and you can set it up kind of however you want, but as long as it's at least 3 minutes of ads an hour. And it's like, because there's no good way for me to do that, where, so here's the thing about ads. You can't start an ad, you can start an ad anytime you want in the first 30 seconds automatically. But you can't push it to say, I want the first ad to start at 45, or sorry, yeah, you can't start the first ad at 45 minutes into the stream. It has to be in the first 30 minutes. And then you can set it to be up to, I think, an hour after that automatically.
Oh.
But you can't set it to be, I want it to start at 45 minutes and then run every hour.
That sucks.
Yeah. Because it's like, I'd like it to be like, hey, people who first join the stream watch an ad. Then at like 45 minutes they get an ad. And then an hour 45 or whatever. So that we only get like 1 ad every hour of stream. Because what I don't want to have happen is that on our... Right now, we do not run ads on our normal streams. So it's like, if I'm going to run ads on every single stream, I would like it to be 1.
Yes.
But with this setup, it's like, okay, that would be 2 on our first stream. And it's like, I don't want to do that. So I'm hesitant to do that.
Okay.
For many reasons.
Alright, guys. Hello, people. It's us, Two Bros Game, and I'm your host, Younger Bro.
I am your other host, Older Bro.
And we're back with Shiny Hunting, where we're not doing Score Bunny anymore.
Yeah.
We're down to Snom, but we're going after Frostmoth.
Yeah. But Younger Bro had already started getting Score Bunny, so we get to see if you Score Bunny first.
Yeah, we have to get 3 eggs first of Score Bunny, and then it'll be all Snom. Could you imagine if we got Shiny Score Bunny within these 3 eggs?
I'd leave. You guys won the stream if we do that.
I'm down to 1 more egg. I doubt it's gonna happen.
Of course now my friend's on the stream. Wasn't earlier on. You butt.
Yo, Shadow Dash!
Hey, Shadow Dash! How you doing?
How's it going, buddy? It's been a while.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. For Tryhard, who probably is not watching right now, he resubscribed. So, as normal, we'll announce that. So, thank you for resubscribing, Tryhard.
Thanks,
if you're
Tryhard. We love you.
If you're
we
here,
miss you.
cool. If you're not, we know you're busy. Sorry. We still felt like we'd put it in the video. So,
like, I'm trying to get him to play maybe Xenoverse or Legends with me right now, but hey, I haven't been successful.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. There was a video that... So, oops, sorry, I bumped the mic again. So I'm working on the Goombas again. A little bit in the background. There was a video that I watched a while back that I forgot to show you, that I really need to re-show you, because it's talking about how to design eyes.
Oh, you still haven't shown me that.
Well, no, this is a new video. This one was like very recent. Because
oh, this is newer than the original video you're going to show me.
I don't remember that video, whatever it was, but there was there was a newer one that I was just showed very recently. It was like,
just share it to me.
Well, when I find it, I'll let you know. I'm literally looking for it right now. But the thing about it was that, because people were always talking about how, like, hard eyes are.
Yeah.
And this artist is like, no, eyes are not hard. It is not hard to do eyes. How you have to do eyes is you have to do them at the same time. Do both eyes at the exact same time. And don't do one eye, then do the other. Do like, hey, I'm going to draw the outside of the eye. So do it for one. Then do the other one. Don't finish one eye, then work on the other. Do each step of eye creation at the same time.
Well,
like,
I thought about
back and forth.
I thought about doing one eye and then just mirroring it.
Yeah, that does not work because eyes
doesn't?
don't. The human body is not perfectly mirrored. So unless you are staring perfectly at a camera, then mirroring the eyes doesn't work. If you have any angle to the person, one eye is going to be slightly off from the other. So you have to draw them back and forth at the same time.
Okay.
I'll show you the video when I find it. But because it gives
it
gives very good steps on like here's how you actually do eye drawing.
Yeah, I've always did one eye at a time.
Yeah. Well, that's how a lot of artists do it, and that they're saying that's why people find it so hard, because they're doing it that way.
Guys, it begins. That is encounter 1.
Well, you say encounter, but what you mean is A. 1.
Yeah, it's equivalent of an encounter.
Yeah.
Now, guys, this should be a better method than what we were doing with Snom before. It was over 2,000 encounters before I found 1 Shiny Snom. We're on our 2nd. Yeah, and Mr. B, he suggested the Shiny Hunt, and we're not even done with it.
Yeah.
Also, guys, sorry we haven't been streaming. We've been having a lot of internet issues.
Yeah, guys, we haven't been able to do much in the way of streaming because of issues.
Yeah, I saw Digimon Survive finally came out.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Digimon Survive.
Bad or good?
Yes.
Fuck.
Good, but good because it's bad. So, how was your first playthrough?
Here's the thing. I don't know.
How bad was it?
I don't know a whole lot about Digimon. I did used to watch the show when I was a kid, and I've forgotten most of the plot.
Yeah.
But at least I remember the theme song. But yeah, I want to try it again in the Digimon. I don't have any scheduled right now, like any game scheduled.
Yeah, I do.
So hopefully I can get into it.
They have a new redesign of one of the Digimon. Wait, which one did they redesign?
All of them.
Shut up.
Sorry, guys, that gets on Older Bro's nerve a little bit.
I will stab to death.
Yeah, guys, I actually have to use my Shiny Snom to get eggs. I mean, I probably could have went and caught a Snom, but it's like, why do that when I can just hatch eggs from the shiny one? And no, guys, it is a myth. You can't just use a shiny Pokemon and breed it and you'll get a higher chance of shiny odds. That's not a thing. I don't even think that's ever been a thing. If it has been a thing, it's the older games. Like, I want to say before...
They redesigned Falcomon. Hold on, now I need to look this up.
I want to say before Gen 4. Yeah, otherwise not been.
Again? Seriously? Okay. Well, hold on. I mean, that's not really a redesign of Falcomon. It's just the other design for Falcomon.
Up-res version.
No, because there's Falcomon, who is basically an owl. And then there's Falcomon from the 2006 anime.
Okay.
Which, like, here's Falcomon.
Okay.
This is Falcomon from the 2006 anime. They're just completely different creatures entirely. They look nothing like each other. So, I guess the one they put in Digimon Survive is the 2006 anime Falcomon. Which looks good. It just looks good. It's a different good. Also, please stop doing this. Please stop it with the teeth. Like the like it has human teeth in its beak. It's just like, this is so weird. Do one or the other, please.
It doesn't have like sharp teeth like a monster. It has human teeth.
Yes, they are sharp teeth, but like they're inside the beak. So it's like,
Wham, 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 wham.
I mean, to be fair, Shadow Dash, from my understanding, that's true of basically every Digimon in every game. Since they love to just change up the evolution trees whenever they want. Unless you're saying it's a normal one, it's just a redesign. Again. Or something custom.
And then again, and again, and
I'm trying not to look up much about Digimon Survive. Yeah, that is the 2006 anime one. Yeah. Cause like somebody one of my friends right now is playing Digimon Cyber Sleuth, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to watch you play this because that is the Digimon game that I have on the schedule for myself.
Oh.
And I'm like, and I don't, since it's gonna be my first Digimon game outside of like the Digimon Mario Kart ripoff.
Yes.
I really don't want to know anything about it.
I wonder if the SAO video game is better than the show.
Which one?
Any of them. Like, maybe some of the newer games. I know they had one recently.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say, there's a lot of different games that have SAO in its name. Category, Sword Art Online Video Games, Wikipedia. There is Excel World versus Sword Art Online Millennium Twilight, Sword Art Online Code Register, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment, Sword Art Online Hollow Realization, Sword Art Online Infinity Moment, Sword Art Online Integral Factor, and Sword Art Online Lost Song.
Lost. Sure, that last one isn't a rhythm game?
It is an action role-playing game. It is the third video game in the series and successor to Hollow Fragment, which itself is a sequel to Infinity Moment.
Yeah, guys, I'm interested in playing an SAO video game, but I'm afraid to play the newer games because I'm worried I need to see the show before I play the game.
Depends on the series and games. By the way, one of those things was trending. The video game things was trending online today, where it was like, best game this, worst game this, best. Yeah, it was best first game, last game, best game, worst game, which those trend all the time. And there were several of them. The ones I really hate is when they have first game, last. This is for games, anime, whatever it is trending for. But first and last and best are the same. Where it's like, okay, you have either watched only one show, or you've continuously rewatched one show over and over again because you loved it so much. The karma system. Yeah, from what I hear, there's a lot of karma in Digimon Survive.
It could rival even the karma from Far Cry.
I don't remember the karma from Far Cry.
It was your level up points.
Oh. No, it's... Look, all I'll say is this. Digimon Survive, the word survive is very literal. So.
Is Is that my only egg? No, but it might as well have
Yes. It's the only one that's currently an egg.
been.
Yeah, I've said I've made my peace with Digimon as a media franchise. I've said many times my problems with it, but I am interested in seeing what I feel about the games.
Yeah, maybe the games have some, what is it, clout to them.
Well, from what I understand, their games are decently good. At least the ones that I've heard of recently. Like I hear that Survive is a fun and good game.
Okay.
I heard that Cyber Sleuth was a good game. That's why it's on my list. But I'm not gonna put any other Digimon games on my list until I've seen my opinions of Cyber Sleuth, because I've never played a Digimon game. I want to see what my feelings are of the franchise after playing one of the games, and then I'll judge if I want to put more on the list or not.
Yeah, guys, we want to make perfectly clear we don't hate Digimon.
No. I hate things about Digimon, but I do not hate Digimon on any level. Especially since half the stuff Pokemon does nowadays was taken from Digimon, so...
Yeah. It's just, my thing is, I like a lot of other stuff over Digimon.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to try not to get into it, because I'll just repeat all the same points that I've already made many times.
Yep.
And it's not really fun.
But yeah, guys...
It's so shiny in the background of the hatching screen, it almost makes you think it's shiny.
Yeah.
Because that light is just so bright.
Also, the other reason why I haven't played a Digimon game yet, guys, is because all their games are really freaking long.
That is true.
So they're all stream games, and I'm not even through that list yet. Like, I just got through my Let's Play list not that long ago.
Yeah, let me see how long.
Like, a lot of the
Cyber Sleuth
newer
is.
ones are absolutely going to be streams. Like,
Yeah, because for example, Digimon Cyber Sleuth, the main story time is 50 hours.
there it is.
So, when we play that game, guys, it's gonna be, well,
A year. Because, again, there's 52 weeks in a year. So that means if we do 50 streams of it, it's going to take us, well, a third of the year. It won't actually take us a full year, because we stream 3 times a week for each game. So,
And
it'll
we also
take
do
us, like,
time
a long time.
We also do time increases.
Yeah.
What's our number for doing it 2 hours off the bat?
I don't remember. I need to write these things down a
I
little bit.
thought it was 50 hours and above.
It's something like that.
So it's possible.
I
we
know
might...
100 hours was definitely,
Uh-huh.
was that, but... Yeah, so we might...
We might just start 2 hours with that one.
Yay, more Digimon. in quotes. But yeah, guys, a lot of the games I'd like to play are some of the old Jurassic Park games.
Yeah.
But I can't schedule them right now with what's coming up for mobile. Stay tuned, guys. But those series
Stay tuned.
Those series are months away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we barely got like even a fraction of my mobile import list done. I don't know what's going to finish first. Either my stream list is going to finish first or my mobile one will. I'm willing to bet it might be mobile. By the way, guys, if we haven't said, we're only doing 2 hours tonight.
That is true. My Rush Season / Death March should, in theory, end
In a week or two. The last week is very light.
Brought you diamonds.
So we'll see how tired I am. But yeah, I haven't actually been as tired as I thought I'd be. Although I have been like falling asleep a lot more in the middle of the day. So I'm clearly more tired than I think I am.
I think there was something I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah. But as normal, you've completely forgotten it.
About a movie. Oh.
Yeah.
I think we missed Lightyear.
Yeah, it's not surprising. We just have not had time, honestly. It's yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Sometimes guys, we have movies that we want to watch that we just miss because we can't find time to do them. So, like, we had plans to watch Lightyear and Minions, and I have no idea if we'll get to either of them.
Well, we probably not going to get the Lightyear unless.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I imagine both those are series that'll be in movie theaters for a while, but it's been in theaters for a while, so it's like it depends.
Like, I mean, we could it's on Father's Disney Plus, so we could literally go watch it now.
That's true.
So we could just take a night where.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, if you wanted, we could do it tomorrow.
We'll see. I do have I am ahead on editing, so that's possible.
Okay. There you go, guys. Lightyear's coming.
Maybe. Do not.
But when would we record it? Would we do it after or before the stream?
Probably before the stream.
It'd also have to be when Father leaves.
Oh, yeah, we'll do it in like mid-afternoon or something.
Yeah, somewhere around.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe stepmom would want to watch it with us.
I don't know. She was feeling sick today, so she may be out tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Whee! She's mine now, John. Yeah, I do not like how shiny the background is because it makes it feel like the Pokemon shiny.
Yeah.
Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I found a couple videos, one of which might be the video I was talking about. I am not sure. Which means I'm gonna have to actually watch them. Oh no, there it is. I remember this one.
Oh,
because the title of it's literally just "Stop Doing This."
Oh, by the way, I finally remember what I was really going to talk to you about besides Lightyear.
Yeah.
So you remember the newer Planet of the Apes movies?
Uh-huh.
What if I told you that they are making a fourth? Have you seen the third movie?
I can't remember. Probably not, honestly. It's been too long.
Well, this new movie is not even going to be about Caesar.
How the hell's that gonna work?
Well, Caesar's dead.
How the hell's that gonna work?
Yeah, I don't know. But they already got castings for a few of the characters, so they're wanting to do it this year, but I haven't heard anything or seen anything, so it's probably not going to be in...
Yeah, I'd expect no.
It's probably going to be in, like, 2023 or 2024.
Yep.
I'd bet. But they started in 2021. Yeah, it's been taking that long.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all.
So, I'm excited for it. Like, I liked the new Planet of the Apes movies. Like,
Yeah.
they were all really good. Is that Croc? It is Croc.
Hello, Croc. How you doing? You summon the power of the anime gods? Well, I'm not sure how much I can help with that. I am not the anime pope. I can
tell you that.
Oh man, guys, it seems like forever since I found the last shiny. I wish you good dreams, Croc. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, you're watching paranormal stuff? Well, fair enough. By the way, speaking of paranormal stuff, guys, so because it just came out, and because everyone's been talking about it, I did look into Cultist, or the Cult of the Lamb, not Cultist Simulator. I would recommend it. It is a very cute and fun game.
Even though it's dark as fuck.
It's not really that dark, but yeah, I would recommend it.
It looks dark.
Don't play it if you have family who would get pissed off seeing potential non-Christian stuff.
Yeah,
because
we know who that would be in our family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even sure I want to play it. Like, it looks cute. It looks like a different kind of Moonlighter game, but
it is.
I was like, eh.
Can we play Charlie Charlie? I don't know what that is.
What, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? They have a game. I heard it was okay.
I'm assuming it's what they said. Aye.
You don't even get money for Patreon.
No, I just hate... Patreon loves to turn your channel back off randomly, so I'm trying to search for us to see our tiers.
Wait.
But I can't find us.
Isn't that one game on phone about some woman that disappears in a way, or is lost? Like, is it that game?
Unclear.
No? Yeah, I've seen a lot of very weird and messed up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I found us on Ko-Fi.
Coffee.
I don't think... But they don't have tiers, so, let's try... Not that one, it's, the other one. We put 2 pencils on top of each other with 2 yes on a piece of paper and 2 no's. Okay.
Yeah, guys. We're gonna try to do a lot more horror games, but me personally, I can only do Let's Plays right now. So we got a few Halloween specials coming up, and we're gonna still do Poppy Playtime. I promised to do that this Halloween, so look forward to it.
Haha.
Haha.
I did find us. That's an outdated logo on there. Disappointing.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember our tier list. because one of the things I was going to talk about was that, hey guys, we're slowly getting our backlog of videos on YouTube up to being a week ahead of time.
The reason I was looking at this is because it's like,
Wait, when did I put that people are supposed to have early access to our YouTube videos? And I was like, oh yeah, it's when you pay us $5 a month, which means all of our Twitch subs are supposed to get that. And I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to do that.
Well, you're gonna have to look into how to do
Yes.
sucks. This is what I get for promising things and forgetting about them.
it. Might have to like
Yeah,
if you can't figure it out, you might have to re-put what you do for $5 a month.
Yeah.
We apologize to anybody who's currently a subscriber. We have not planned ahead on some of these things.
Yeah. Well, I think this one's wrong anyways, because I think I didn't update the tiers on the other site because we don't use it anymore. I'm pretty sure that this tier also gets voice chat in Discord. And I think if you're subbed on... if you have a Twitch sub, it actually does properly link that. But I can't remember.
I'll have to recheck.
I also might have removed the tier from having that. No clue. This is what happens when I don't remember our own stuff. If I could remember what our Patreon was, since it's the one that's it has our newest list, but I can't find us on there because it sucks.
Yeah, so get this. Speaking of, like, hidden groups and stuff like that. So, let me talk about groups in a game. So, guys, you know I'm currently playing Dream Girlfriend. That's our current mobile series. Did you know if the guild that you make in that game is not being quote-unquote upkeeped, it will be deleted?
Okay, hold on. Sorry. Say that again?
So, in Dream Girlfriend, the
Yeah.
current mobile series we
Yes.
have, if you make a guild in that game,
Yep.
if it's not being quote-unquote upkeeped, it will be deleted.
What does that mean?
I don't know. There's nothing in the game that tells you what the fuck that means.
Yeah.
So, from my understanding, it means if you are a small guild and you're not getting really much attention, then you will be deleted. And I think that's stupid.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can't get your start.
Okay, I did redo all the tiers. Good.
Like, can you agree to that? Like, you don't get your start if that happens.
Yeah, look, I don't know enough about the game to know.
But, okay,
but-
let me
but
put it
yes,
this way.
But it does sound kind of shitty.
Let me put it this way. This is my third attempt. That was my third attempt to making a guild.
Yeah.
Third.
Yeah.
I can make another one. But if it's going to be deleted, why the fuck should I?
Yeah. Okay, I did change the tiers so that it's... So, you have to have a tier 2 sub on Twitch to get early access to our videos.
Oh.
So, you are still supposed to have supposed to have voice chat if you're subscribed on Twitch. But, again, I'm not sure if it's working. So, if anybody is subscribed to us, like,
Mr.
well, I was gonna say Mr. B, but more specifically, not Shadow Dash, other one. The one I was just...
Tryhard?
Yeah, Tryhard, thank you.
If Mr. B or Tryhard or any of the people who are subbed to us
Can let me know if that's the case.
on Discord, please do. Because I checked once and I don't know if
There's no way for me to easily know
if you have access.
I just need to log into the Discord more.
By the way, how busy of a person is Sal?
I mean, he streams pretty much every day.
Around the same time we do?
Yeah. So,
Ah.
usually a little bit earlier than this. He was live an hour ago.
Yeah, I
So-
just wanted to ask because, yeah, he just hasn't been around in a while. And I'm playing
Yeah.
Boss Fires, but I might have pissed him off.
What is my opinion on Poltergeist? like the creature of
Oh my God.
Poltergeist, or the media franchise Poltergeist?
You might be talking about Pokemon.
That'd be Poltergeist. The creature of Poltergeist. Okay, let me look up. Let me remind myself what this is.
A poltergeist?
Yes, because ghosts and poltergeists and such have very specific definitions. So I have to remember what the actual definition of this is.
I think it's just a very violent spirit.
It is a ghost that manifests itself by noises, rapping, and the creation of disorder. Creates sounds of moving objects, knocks, and similar noises. Disruption, basically. Yeah, physical disturbances like loud noises. I mean,
Apparitions.
generally speaking, no. The thing about poltergeists is you don't usually see them. You just see the effects of them. You see dishes flying and stuff like that.
That's what I
You
thought,
hear
yes.
random knocks. But you don't usually see the creature. I mean, I think they're interesting. Like, there's definitely a lot of random noises and stuff that exist in the world, and here's the thing. I am not generally a person who believes in most supernatural creatures. However, as an anime fan and a lover of board games and video games and stuff, I love the idea of those kind of creatures. Japan is filled with those, where they create a lot of creatures just to explain small things that happen. So,
Yeah.
I love the concept of the poltergeist.
I'm more of the creatures and mysteries guy. Like,
Yes.
I watch a lot of those kinds of shows with Father, and sometimes on my own, so...
Yep.
Yeah, and I like the concept of them. Like,
Yeah.
it would be very interesting to capture these kinds of things on camera or something.
Yeah.
To actually, like, catalog it.
Mhm.
Because how I view some of the mystical beasts that we have that a lot of people encounter, like Bigfoot, is I would like it if we actually do eventually find the thing and can classify it as
Yeah.
a real creature. Like, that's what I want. That's why I'm so interested in these mysteries.
Yep.
Because they're animals, in a way.
Okay, speaking of this for a moment, I'm gonna get like tangentially political. As in, it's not something that's actually political, but it's something that has to do with politics and religion,
See ya, Croc.
technically. Okay, Croc, have a good evening. So I was watching a video, because I have a lot of, so I have multiple YouTube channels, guys. One of the ones I have is subscribed to a lot of random videos, like interesting facts and things like that. So one of the videos I recently watched was a video about why... So, there is a observatory in the middle of, like, Arizona, I think, that is owned by the Catholic Church, as in the Pope, in the middle of the United States. And somebody was like, why does the Pope have a observatory in the middle of the United States? Given that, you know, they're the Catholic Church. And so one of the things that they talked about was like, we have most people out there have this idea of the Catholic Church as them being anti-science. And that is factually untrue. The Catholic Church does not hate science. Pretty much every single scientist you've heard of pre the last 200 years. So like Galileo and Mendel and I don't know about Marie Curie, but Copernicus any of the big named people you've heard that's like 300 plus years old were all Catholic Christians.
Enthusiasts?
No, they were all Christians.
Oh.
The Catholic. So one of the interesting things about the church, the Catholic Church does not agree with certain things that science does. Like, they don't agree with certain practices. But in terms of their actual, like, their beliefs in science specifically, one of the previous popes had probably the best quote ever on why science and religion are non-conflicting. To paraphrase his quote, he basically said, if you believe that the universe is created by God, if you believe that there is a divine being out there who created everything, and that you believe that that being gave you reason, then you must believe that everything in the universe is from that God. That all the mysteries out in the universe are all things that they placed there for us to discover. So every single piece of science is us seeing the wonder and glory of God in the universe. And no discovery of science can ever contradict God. Because if God created the world, he created science, and therefore created the discovery you're discovering. So there is no science that can disprove God. And every wonder of the universe is from God. And that is the practice of the Catholic Church. So, like, again, I'm not talking about Protestantism, so most churches in the United States doesn't necessarily fall in this. Which is why you hear about churches not really agreeing with science a lot. But in terms of, like, the historic Catholic Church over the last, like, thousands of years, they were the modern idea of science, of, like, universities and, like, that are unrelated to church. Yeah, pretty much every university from Europe, like the ancient universities, were started by Christians, specifically the Catholic Church. And the reason that there is a giant telescope out in the middle of the United States is because, one, timekeeping. As I believe it was real life lore, but I'm not certain, because I don't remember exactly who did this video. I could look it up. But as they said, it's kind of hard for somebody to know when to be upset with you about not going to church if they don't have a very good way of keeping time. But also, it's for, looking out and seeing the wonder of God in the universe. So, all of that to say, as much as I do not agree with Younger Bro, and, like, the existence of most mythical creatures in real life, I do like that aspect of... I do like that, like, that kind of thing exists. That there is people out there who are like, we see these events and we think that something is causing them, and we are going to, do the work and actually follow the closest thing that you can to the scientific method with mythological creatures and see what's out there. To explore the universe and say, here's some new discovery we found. Like, I've said many times as a scientist, I do not like the Ancient Aliens people. I think that they are, in general, grasping at straws 99.9% of the time.
Yeah, here's the thing about Ancient Aliens. I'm pretty sure it's proven that they are not really factually correct.
No, I'm gonna guarantee, without even having to look at their show, to any degree, like, because I have seen bits and pieces. A lot of the stuff they put on there is completely grasping at straws. It has no factual basis, and a lot of the stuff couldn't have a factual basis. There's no way to have facts about it. But...
yeah, it's all just speculation.
Exactly. But, as much as I say that as a scientist, I do still like that they're doing it. I like the idea of people going out there and trying to come up with answers to questions that are unanswerable. So, as much as I don't like the Ancient Aliens people, as a scientist, because it makes scientists look bad, I still appreciate them.
Because it's fun speculation.
Yeah. Because people have to, like, this is where I'm going to get a little bit more religious momentarily, guys. So, one of the things that a lot of people don't like about religion is they're like, oh, but it's all just ancient stuff that people came up with to explain away certain things. None of it has any bearing on modern life, etc., etc. But the thing about religion is that religion as a whole seeks to fill a void in culture that cannot be filled with anything else. Whether you believe in it or not does not matter. The existence of religion is there to answer unanswerable questions. It's to answer things like, where did the, like, what is the source of the universe's existence? Is there some divine being that created everything? What is their relationship with you? What is the point of life? What will happen after death? These are questions that you cannot answer with science. It's not something that you could eventually answer with science. Science can't answer these questions because these questions are fundamentally antithetical to science. Science is about going out and studying. It's about making hypotheses from evidence that you can discover. Religion is about having faith in things that can't ever be discovered. There will never be an answer to does God exist. You cannot get a 100% guarantee that God exists. It's impossible because you can't not get proof of that. But you can believe in it. You can have faith that it is true. Science is not about faith. Science is about
discovery.
Yeah, science is about discovery of facts. It is about correctness or incorrectness. There is a hard line on is something scientific or not, based on if it is true or not. You study it, you discover the truth of it, and then you move on. Which is why I don't like Ancient Aliens. As the scientist in me, Ancient Aliens are stupid because they are unprovable. You can't prove if Ancient Aliens seeded the planet because that would require you to find the aliens. And given the fact that we have not found them,
Or if
you're
we
not.
have, it's
Yeah.
in a government's facility somewhere.
Yeah. So none of the things they say are based on facts. They're based on speculation. It's not scientific. If someday we find aliens and they show up, then come back to me. Until then, it's faith.
Yeah, going back to speaking about these mythological creatures.
Yeah,
like,
please.
we discover new species every day, and some of those species do represent some things that we
absolutely.
thought was myth.
Absolutely. I'm not going to sit here and say that mythological creatures have never been found out to be true. That there's never been a mythological creature that was found out to be real. But there are some mythological creatures that are very clearly not that are not ever going to be found to be real. And there are some that could be. Like,
well, there's like some of these creatures could easily be proven to exist, but the problem is it's possible that they have some sentience to know what they're doing. Like, they somehow know how to avoid cameras.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's what I will say. I believe that there can't, like, for example, Japan has a very well-known creature, the Tsukinoko, which is the tiny snake-like thing with a blue tongue.
Yeah.
That's a mythological creature. I believe we saw it in There was an anime that we watched where, it was Mob Psycho. In the final episode of Mob Psycho, they go off and find that giant super snake. That's a Tsukinoko. It's not usually that big. The size that you see at the end when he's defeated it, that is the normal Tsukinoko.
Well, here's the thing. In ancient times, the Tsukinoko could have been that big.
Yeah, sure. If we assume that it's a real creature, given the fact that giant sharks, or not giant sharks, giant alligators, the super crocs, existed, it is entirely possible there were that big of that creature.
Well, here's the thing. There was.
Yeah.
There was a giant ancient snake.
Yeah.
And that was the Titanoboa.
Yeah, so
But
it's that kind of thing is not impossible. The question is, does that creature exist now, and has it ever existed? And there's no fossil evidence of existing, and no one's found one. That's a creature I believe could exist, because it's basically just a, earth drilling snake. It's what Dunsparce is based on.
It burrows underground. And
Yeah, so it is theoretically possible you could find that. It's unlikely, because again, Japan is very developed. But Japan, Tokyo has extreme amounts of development, but Japan is also well known for its lush countrysides that have almost no human settlement. So it's possible that something could be hiding out there. Maybe that doesn't... It's probably not something that has sentience to avoid cameras. But it's something that, in general, there aren't cameras out there and could exist. I don't have belief in, Bigfoot, because people's level of... The level of sentience you have to give to Bigfoot to make it so that he can exist is beyond my belief, basically.
Well,
Because you would have to both believe that this creature inherently is as smart as people to be able to know what cameras are, how they work, and to avoid them. And believe that they are... The problem is the number of them that have been cited and how dispersed they are leads you to believe that they are very numerous. Because based on the reports of them, there's at least 3 different species in the United States alone. Well, in North America, we'll say. But, okay, sure. But the point is, there's multiple species within our country, if not our continent alone.
yes.
So, and the amount of sightings of them have been very large. That leads you to believe that either there is an extremely high amount of them, which does not fit with the fact that most of the eastern United States has had its forests destroyed. So, that large number of them would be very difficult to hide the rest of the time. Because again, you have to remember, these sightings are the rare sightings. Because they can avoid cameras.
Well, here's
so,
the thing. Here's probably the main reason Bigfoot can hide itself from cameras. Mm-hmm. It is led to believe that they have some kind of technology that cloaks them. A lot of people think they're aliens, and that's why they're able to avoid.
Yeah, so
cameras.
that was the other half of it. Either you have to believe that they are extremely numerous, that they are able to know about how cameras work and detect them and avoid them with over 99% precision, and that the ones we see are extremely rare exceptions. Or you have to believe that they are so technologically above us that our sightings are accidental malfunctions of their technology. Either of which does not really fit with the picture of Bigfoot.
Here's the thing about Bigfoot. So there is one thing about Bigfoot that a lot of people find interesting, and I find it interesting. For whatever reason, whenever people spot Bigfoot, they sometimes on thermal they'll catch like little balls of orbs.
Mm-hmm.
And orbs are associated with Bigfoot. Even strange lights in the forest with no one out there is associated with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So they have to have technology on some level if they're able to emit light. By the way, guys, as a tip here, do not ever follow a strange light in the forest. Like,
Yeah, for many reasons. This is besides if you believe in Bigfoot or not. Just do not follow strange lights in the forest, because at the best case scenario, it is fireflies. At the very worst, it is something that is attracting you in to kill you.
exactly.
So
Here's the thing. So,
I would really state that this is the scientist talking. Don't do that.
So get this. Whenever you see lights in a forest, it's Bigfoot trying to trick you into doing something that you shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
Like, in one instance, I know a guy that followed a light. He almost fell off a cliff that was pretty much bottomless.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if he didn't see it, he would have walked right off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he stopped and looked at whatever light he was looking at, looked down, and he's like, oh, fuck, back up, because his cameraman was behind him.
Yeah.
And he's like, dude, there's a drop right there. Don't.
Yeah. So, yeah, I must state, I believe neither of these things. I do not believe that there's a creature out there that is so numerous and widespread that that we have pretty much no detection of it, and that it can somehow avoid all people 99.9% of the time.
Well, he's not.
Nor do I believe that that a creature of that description would have technology so greater than us that we could not detect it regularly.
Here's the other thing.
It's like,
We have found evidence of something. If it's not Bigfoot, then it is very, very weird that you find these things in the forest.
yeah.
Like, tree structures are one thing.
Yeah,
Like-
because it's the fundamental problem that cannot be avoided is that you can say that there is some creature out there that we don't know about, and that's fine. I believe that there's any number of like insect creatures that could still be in the US that we don't know about. So that's fine. People don't really pay attention to that. But when you tell me that there's like a 10-foot tall humanoid creature that people would absolutely see, period, if it was uncloaked, that's something people would notice. That's not avoidable. But no matter what side of the Bigfoot debate you're on, the fact remains that there is one fundamental problem. If it is alive, it dies.
Well, here's the thing. Bigfoot, it is theorized that the Bigfoot bury their dead.
That's fine. But the problem is, again, it's fine if they bury their dead. It's fine if they like burn their dead, like, or whatever. But the fact remains that if you admit that it's like, okay, this race of creatures is so much more advanced than us that they can hide from us, and that the sightings we do see are all extremely rare errors in their ability to hide from us, all that's fine. Then why have we not found bodies at a similar level? You cannot simultaneously tell me that these creatures are so advanced that these errors of us seeing them are just like occasional accidents. But they've never occasionally accidentally left a body somewhere? It's impossible. If you believe the ones are accidents, then we should have found bodies. If you believe they are so advanced to hide every single one of their dead perfectly, then there is no reason that we should ever see them. You can't have both exist at the same time.
One of these is wrong.
And I don't know which it is.
But it's like,
As a person who wanted to be a field biologist, I think about these creatures of Bigfoot. I think, like, if I could, like, in theory, make them exist in a way that seems right, I want to say if they do exist, they have to be, on some level, be, like, descendants of, like, Gigantopithecus.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you believe in that, it's like, that means that you believe that that race of creatures is somehow exponentially more advanced than us. And you have to believe that on some level. Either they have built-in near perfect cloaking in their genetics that prevent us from ever detecting them, or they have such high technological abilities that we can never detect them. Either way,
Does not fly with them. It's just like, no.
Now, a lot...
I like.
and I say this as a Marvel fan. The Watchers exist in Marvel. They exist to watch and not interfere. They are extremely, way above humanity in Marvel. And they still have Watchers that say, no, your rules are bullshit, we're going to help.
If you believe that there is a sentient, fallible race of creatures that exists out there that we
Have rarely encountered but does exist and is just so much more advanced than us, there should be evidence of them, at least some of them, saying, no, we are not going to fall into this stay away from humans bullshit and helping out, and we don't see evidence of it. Some part of this theory is wrong.
Now,
like, I don't. Yeah.
here's
This is why I don't like it. It's like
Ye-
there are holes in this theory that I cannot resolve.
Here's another thing. Now, people speculate that Bigfoot's fur acts like some sort of a ghillie suit. They don't have technology, but they are able
it's
to use their fur.
Yeah, their fur is genetically light reflective.
in some form of way, and
Yeah.
they think this creature can turn invisible.
Yeah.
In a way. And here's the thing. I have searched all over the internet, and I have listened to scientists talk about possibly natural invisibility. That exists.
Yeah, it's not impossible for things to cloak themselves with, like, very advanced camouflage. That's a real
Yeah,
thing.
like cuttlefish do.
Yeah.
But cuttlefish, you can still see them. But
Yeah. The reason most creatures that camouflage themselves tend to be fish. Because what they do is they blend into the color of the water.
Their environment.
Yes.
Well,
There are other creatures that do it on land, but they generally are not apes.
they're more like cats.
Yeah, it's usually
do it.
reptiles, fish, and occasionally some small rodents. But nothing of the scale of a human being. Like, whales do not disguise themselves in the water. Dolphins do not camouflage like that.
But yeah, what cuttlefish do is they
Yeah.
have, I want to say they have some kind of, I don't know too much. I think they have like reflective scales.
Mhm.
And that's why they
Yeah.
appear weird in videos, because that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I don't know, they're actually turning themselves not transparent, but into multiple different colors there.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, fish,
They bounce light around, and it
Yes.
causes them to be hard to see.
like, and also weird orbs of light can also be explained, because fish also emit their own light.
Yes, there are fish that do that. But I don't...
However, that's usually fish.
Yes. I was gonna say. And it's also not usually... These are not usually linked together.
No.
Cuttlefish don't usually emit light. It's that
No.
some fish emit light and some fish.
They don't
are-
usually do both.
Yeah. So it's like...
There is no connection between those two things.
But I'm just saying, like, some of these things in nature that we see that we say is unexplainable
Yes.
could be explained.
Yes. It's not... That's why I'm saying... I'm not sitting here saying that no hypothetical creatures are possible.
That it's
But you just want like a live creature.
What I'm saying is that if you want me to believe that a hypothetical creature exists, then it has to be believable that it exists. I can believe that that Nessie is possible. It is possible for some for a
shark.
No, the dinosaur.
Plesiosaur?
Yeah, it is possible for a plesiosaur species to theoretically exist in our world still. It is unlikely that it is in Loch Ness, which has no access to the sea, but it's theoretically possible.
I read something that was actually really recent, that it's possible that Loch Ness was at one point connected to the ocean.
Well,
But
the other
I
thing
don't
they
know.
found was that people have been saying, like, oh, but plesiosaurs are saltwater creatures, and there's no way they could live on land, but it turns out that they found that actually they might have been able to live, like, in fresh water. Like, that they might actually been able to travel on land temporarily, but that they definitely could have gone up rivers. Because they were
They
not...
could do something like sharks.
Yeah, so it's like... So, yeah, it is... I am not saying it's impossible for a family of plesiosaurs to have existed in that lake. And I'm not even saying it was impossible for them to have existed recently in that lake. But that's the level you have to beat. That's my line. Is I'm not going any more crazy than that. And Bigfoot's way beyond that line. It is so far past. It's like, no. I'll believe in Tsukinoko, I'll believe in Nessie, but you're not getting me further than that.
Yeah.
Because anything beyond that is way past my line.
Let's talk about Nessie for a second here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't believe that maybe a saltwater plesiosaur might live in Loch Ness.
No.
I think it could be a case of mistaken identity. I think it is a type of plesiosaur that actually lived in freshwater.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Scientists recently discovered there's like, yeah, actually plesiosaur might have been able to live in, like, freshwater for extremely long amounts of time. So it's possible that it's like, yeah, there could be freshwater plesiosaur.
That we haven't discovered
Exactly.
yet. Like,
So it's like that's what I'm saying. It's just like I'm fine with that. By the way, guys, it has been an hour. I am going to log in and actually run the ad since I forgot to do that.
so, guys, I don't think Nessie is a plesiosaur. I think it's a type of plesiosaur, and it's just not been identified yet.
Yeah.
I would like to believe that theory more, because Loch Ness, I could maybe believe at one point it was connected to the ocean. Sure, you can maybe get me to believe that. But I don't think a plesiosaur would be able to survive in fresh air enough to
Well,
walk all
see-
the way to Loch
No.
Ness.
See, here's the thing, though.
It doesn't even make sense that
That's the case. Because people have theorized, like, oh, Loch Ness might have been connected to the ocean at one point. But you gotta remember, ocean levels have only risen over the past millions of years. Like, in the past, the UK was not an island. The UK was linked directly to France. Like, there's the what is that sea? The sea that goes up around Denmark and Sweden and Norway. That sea. The Baltics? I think it's the Baltic Sea. Whatever it is. Whatever it's that sea up in the Baltics. There's literally, like, people have talked about, there literally used to be a piece of land there called Doggerland, which literally just connected all that area together. So it's like, which is now flooded because, you know, ocean levels rose.
I wonder how ocean levels are rising.
Just due to, you know, like the main reason.
It's probably the ice caps melting.
Yeah, well, ice caps melting, yes, but like the reason that it's just a consequence of the last ice age, basically.
Oh.
Because like supervolcano caused ice age. Eventually, all the particles left the atmosphere, and the ice started melting. So, ice has been melting naturally for millions of years. I say that even as a scientist and a Christian. Again, those are not conflictory. See previous argument.
But
No, it's... Yeah, so... Ocean levels do naturally rise and fall. But, yeah, there's no evidence we've ever had that the ice caps have ever been gone.
and there's no evidence we've had that the
ocean levels have sunk in recorded history and even pre-recorded history.
Yeah, unless we get closer to the sun, I don't see how it's possible that the ice caps could melt
Oh no, that's
completely.
that is a very likely event.
Oh, really?
That is, scientists predict that will happen within the next, 100 years.
Fuck. Is it because the sun has a very big gravitational pull?
No. Well, it didn't help that the ozone layer was fucked for a while. By the way, guys, for anyone who hasn't heard, yeah, the ozone layer actually is improving.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good.
The human race banded together to solve one problem, and it was the ozone layer depletion. We resolved that one problem. It is now improving. Or it is set to be improving in 2024.
Oh, good.
So, basically they've said that, hey, it hasn't been getting worse, and we expect that we will start seeing visible improvement as of 2024. So,
Yay.
but yeah, because we basically just banned the chemicals that were causing it. Also, guys, while we're at it, could we please ban all microplastics and all forever chemicals? Please. Also, start getting rid of forever chemicals. Permanently.
but from everyone's water
And bloodstream. Fucking hell. But anyways, all that's beside the point. So yeah, there used to be land between Denmark and France and the UK. So, the idea that Loch Ness was ever connected to the ocean is weird, because it's it was higher up in elevation, technically,
Well, here's the thing.
thousands of years ago. So it's when the fuck could it have ever been connected to the ocean?
I don't even know if we know this or not, but we don't know how much continents were underwater, millions of years ago, around when the first, creatures existed.
Yeah. And again, this is one of the things that's this is where science and mythology has a bit of a weird crossover. Because as I said, the big thing about science is all about evidence and facts and theories. The problem is that it's kind of hard to get evidence and facts of stuff that happened thousands of years ago before records were kept. And in some cases, before people existed. So, it's very hard to get evidence of what Pangaea's exact, where Loch Ness was in Pangaea.
I mean, continental drift does exist, so it is possible we could determine that.
Yeah, and that's what we do. So
There is continental drift theory is pretty much established fact. Or more accurate, it is a heavily researched scientific theory that is accurately predicting
I mean,
movements of, continents.
if looking at a map and moving the continents together wasn't good enough for you guys, some fossils. It doesn't explain how this one fossil is found in North America, South America, and the other one is found in, like, Africa.
Yeah, that's literally
Like, those are the only 2 locations it's found.
Yeah, and that's pretty much
where that theory came from.
And yeah, it has been shown to be very accurate at predicting movement of continents and geologic events. So it's like, yeah,
It's not a scientific law, I don't think, but it is pretty much, it's a very heavily established theory.
Yeah, it's a
so yeah, like I can get you a map of Loch Ness.
Hin pinch.
Last million years. And see what pops up. The New York Post. Yeah, there it is. Basically, somebody found plesiosaur inside
The Sahara Desert.
Really?
Yeah. And the Sahara Desert was known to be a freshwater lake. Millions of years ago.
Ooh, yes,
so that's where
it
they're
was.
like, yeah, it's very...
It's plausible.
Yeah. So they're like, yeah, it is very likely that these were freshwater creatures.
I wonder if they were both.
Probably.
There's plenty of sharks that are both freshwater and saltwater. Like that they have different
Bull shark
branches.
is probably the best.
There's some sharks that can be in both, and there's some sharks that, or at least can live in both for extreme amounts of time. But there's also families of sharks where some of them are freshwater and some are saltwater. So it's like it's not impossible to have both creature types.
I mean, was there ever evidence that plesiosaur did live in the ocean? Like, was the original bones found in the ocean?
It's unsure.
Because the easiest way we could classify this is there's a freshwater plesiosaur and a oceanic plesiosaur. Like, we have that.
Yeah. Yeah, by the way, for anyone who is not aware, yeah, the photo that was taken, the first photo of Nessie was taken in 1934 and was a hoax.
Yes.
So,
If your proof of that creature is based on that first photo,
it was a hoax.
also, they made a movie about Nessie at some point, and the model they used for it is still in the lake. So, any modern sightings are actually not the creature. It is the model of the creature in the lake. So, don't go to Loch Ness and search for Nessie, because anything you see is, as soon as you find it, a hoax, because it's just the model.
I mean, so here's the interesting thing about Loch Ness. A lot of people know Nessie. That's probably the biggest thing about Loch Ness. But they don't know that there is actually another creature in Loch Ness. I don't know if it has a specific name. It's more of a recent discovery. There have been several sightings of a serpent-like creature in Loch Ness.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen video evidence of it, but it wouldn't move like maybe a freshwater eel would, because those exist. It moves sort of like a snake.
Yeah.
Like, it's a big snake. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. But, that's the other monster that could be found at Loch Ness, but it's not as famous.
Yeah, as pointed out by this person, who is like a retired engineer. They were like, it is impossible for Nessie to exist in Loch Ness. First of all, it would have to be at least 63 million years old, because the extinction event was 63 million years ago, and that could include its entire family, but like, it would have to have been in that loch for 63 million years with its family. Secondly, Loch Ness has only existed for 11,700 years because it did not exist before the last ice age, from scientific record. So, there wasn't a lake there until before 12,000 years ago.
Huh.
So, that's impossible. Third, there isn't enough food to sustain even one creature of that size in Loch Ness. 4, even if it managed to survive the extinction event, it would have to have at least 500 of that creature to avoid genetic mutation in that lake. So, again, there's not even enough food for one, definitely not enough for 500 to prevent genetic mutations.
Damn.
So, yeah. Also, they talk about the fact there are no underwater caves because the entire bottom of the lake is made of granite, and you need soft stones like limestone to create underwater lakes or underwater caverns. So there are not even underwater caverns for them to have lived in.
Damn. So
This engineer is laying down the fucking law because he's sick and tired of it. Again, I have a soft spot for Nessie.
here's the thing. What if Plesiosaur did survive and it did genetically mutate? It's possible it could be a smaller type of Plesiosaur.
Yeah. The thing is that,
Like,
it is impossible. So, what people don't realize is that genetic mutations are fine. It's fine for creatures to have genetic mutations. But you can't be inbred forever. Like, people love to joke about inbreeding because of, like, video games where it's like, my family tree's a circle. Because there's I think it's in Civilization, or not Civilization, in Crusader Kings, where if you become inbred enough, you can actually give birth to your own, like, great-grandfather. Yeah, that's not how genetic breeding works. If there is, at some point, if you become too genetically inbred, you actually just stop, you become infertile. So, there is a limit to how inbred you can become before you just become an extinct species.
but do you think it is plausible that a smaller type of Plesiosaur could have existed in Loch Ness?
It is possible for there to be miniature plesiosaurs. It is basically impossible for any size of plesiosaur to exist in that loch in breeding pairs high enough to prevent extinction by genetic inbreeding.
Basically, if a Plesiosaur does exist in Loch Ness, it won't be the size that we connect it to today.
And also, once again, as a reminder, that lake is only 12,000 years old, so if you want to believe in Nessie that much, you have to explain how Nessie's ancestors survived the extinction event 60 million years ago, and lived long enough to get to Loch Ness 12,000 years ago.
There's a way they could prove it. They would probably compare it to maybe crocodiles.
Yeah.
Crocodiles have basically not changed because they have a way to cheat extinction level events.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably one of the last species that would die on this planet.
Them and cockroaches.
Yes. I don't know how they do it. I forget how they do it, but they have a way that they can survive.
They have they have stuff genetically that allows them to mix up their own genes to basically prevent inbreeding.
No, they can basically freeze themselves in time.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that one. Yeah, they're...
Like, they can
Predators are weird.
prevent themselves from starving.
Yeah.
And
Because I know there are creatures that are able to, like, mix up their own genes. Especially because, like, from asexual division and stuff.
but
Like, we technically have that.
There's...
So normally, when you hear about, like, sexual reproduction, the way you hear about it is that, like, oh, you take the father's genes and the mother's genes and you put them together and the mixture is the child. And that is technically not how that works. It's not just that it's not like your body literally goes through and says, here's one person's genes, here's one person's genes. I'm just going to take them, run down the entire list, and just pick one or the other side anytime they don't match. That's not how that works. Because there's extra levels of genetic coding that goes on, that basically when you mix genes, not only can you have stuff from one parent or the other, but you actually have basically an extra roulette where it just kind of randomly can change some of your genes to be completely different entirely to prevent bits of inbreeding. So, like, your body has, like, minor inbreeding protection. Minor. Do not become trapped on a mountaintop with your entire family and expect to survive extinction. It will not work out well for you, and your skin will turn blue.
yes.
Which is so fucking weird. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, there have been extremely inbred humans, more inbred than the kings and queens of Europe, because they were trapped on a mountaintop with their family, could not get down, and they inbred so much that when they were finally discovered, they were blue.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking weird.
I feel very sorry for them. Like, it looks like they're in pain.
I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
I cannot begin to imagine the situation, the things that had to have gone through that family's head as they were justifying their need to inbreed so much to survive. That is terrible.
It is a terrible, terrible situation to have been in.
But yeah. So, in short, I'd like to believe in the plesiosaur, but I'd also like to believe in it's a different type of plesiosaur and it's a freshwater one.
Yeah.
Because we have freshwater eels and oceanic eels.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like
Nessie is at my point of disbelief that, like, I could believe in it. It's probably not likely, but I could be made to believe in that. The levels of belief you'd have to give for me to believe in Bigfoot are astronomical.
so.
Speaking of eels, I want to talk about them for a second. So not
Okay.
only do we have freshwater eels,
Yes.
we have freshwater electric eels.
Great.
Yeah, I've seen them because, well, I've actually seen them in aquariums,
Uh-huh.
but I've also seen them on nature documentaries. And literally, there was a guy who needed to capture one because I think it killed a child.
Mm-hmm.
It was just stuck in the middle of nowhere. Like, the place flooded, and it just got stuck in, like, a little small, like, water puddle. So they were trying to remove it. He's like, yeah, guys, this could legitimately... It won't kill me, but it will put me in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because it's just one. And he was like, now get a whole group of them together, and you're not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that's scary. You gotta be careful where you're swimming and playing. it would have been cool if I ever did become a field biologist and I get to go out and discover some things that are myth. Oh, and here's another funny myth for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how we think unicorns exist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they, on some level, do, but they're not the unicorns you think of. What animal do you think of that has a big horn that is not myth?
Okay, hold on. Say it again. Ask the question again.
Okay, so
A big creature.
in a sense, unicorns do exist, but what creature do you think of that is not a horse that has a big horn that exists?
Oh, rhinos. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, which are basically the real unicorns.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Which is
guys,
a way of describing them, but yeah, that is kind of accurate.
yeah, guys, if you want proof that unicorn exists, there you go. That's kind of what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But here's an even bigger one. This one would get your brain thinking. So originally there was a woolly rhino, and it was thought that it looked similar to what rhinos do today.
Yeah.
Like it has its horn on its nose. It didn't.
Yeah.
It had it on its head.
Yep.
So if you wanted more proof that unicorns exist, it's still a rhino, but it's closer to what you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It's so great. I love talking about this stuff. Because would you believe I had dreams and those dreams were crushed? Yeah, I'm not sure what the myth about the unicorn. I don't know how unicorn myth really started. Maybe they found a woolly rhino skeleton and started it from that and said it was a horse because it looked so ugly as bones. Guys, I mean, their bones are interesting to look at, but I don't know on levels of like how pretty it looks in quotes.
Mm-hmm.
So for all I know, they started it that way.
Yeah. No clue.
Yeah, going back to maybe talking about Bigfoot a little bit. Have I told you about the one event where a lot of campers, like 40 of them, went up into this cabin to stay in like these mountaintops and they all died?
Say again?
Didn't I tell you the story about how these 40 or so campers went up to this one cabin and they all died?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of those campers recorded what happened, and there's been drawings of it. So what started to happen was stones were being thrown onto the roof, and later in the footage, there's a lot of screaming and yelling because the kids are being slaughtered by something. I don't know if we ever see on camera what that thing is, but there was only one survivor, and he decided to turn back on the last second. Like, he got maybe halfway up the mountain before he turned around, but he was recording some strange things happening. Like, he thought he was being followed by something, and I don't know if he ever caught it on camera. But how do you explain something like that? Like, what killed those campers if it wasn't, like, a creature of some sort?
I don't know.
Because
I've got no clue.
because the campers, when they found them, there was evidence that something had chewed on them.
Yeah.
And I think one camper was like ripped in two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it was some kind of that they were all starving and killed themselves. I have no clue. No idea.
They didn't. I don't. Okay. They would have had to starve on the way up. They would have had to eat all the food before they even.
Well, because
got
how
to the
long
camp.
were they trapped up
Day or two?
there? Okay, so it wasn't even something that they were gone that long.
No.
No way. Yeah, no. No clue. It's at least at least that situation. Is probably more explainable than the ones that's like that were like in the founding of the United States when like here's this colony of people and they left and then they came back trying to find them and they were gone. It's just like with the
Like unless like at altitudes you get crazy or something like, and the kids start slaughtering each other. But I think you get more sick.
Where did this take place?
Some snowy mountain. I think it might have been like, I don't want to say Alaska, but probably somewhere close to there.
Yeah, no. The only issues you really have from
Maybe the Himalayas.
well, I was gonna say the only issues you have from really high altitudes is potential oxygen deprivation.
Exactly,
But-
getting sick and
Yeah, like
you're not adjusting to the low
yeah,
air qualities.
yeah. There's some people that are are naturally able to do that. That they can just naturally adjust to low oxygen environments,
That's cool.
which are cool.
Can you teach me?
That's not teachable. It's
Huh,
just
I
a
know.
genetic thing. Like that's basically all the Nepalese people are pretty naturally able to do that because they live in those
Right,
altitudes all the
yeah.
time. So they're usually able to go like pretty much climb the Himalayas with little to no effort. At least in terms
Nice.
of oxygen, they don't need a lot of like equipment for like most of the journey. They probably still need equipment for the top. Because again, you have to understand just how tall the Himalayas are. Like, it's insane.
Like let me get a good measure of the Himalayas.
What's the main mountain?
The main mountain?
Yeah.
Everest?
Thank you.
But yeah, guys, I'll try to find that story about the 40 campers that died. I'll try to research it a little more because I've heard that story several times, but I've probably forgot a few details.
Yeah.
But that did
This is
happen.
This is
and-
the most... Like, so I'm seeing a poster here talking about Everest.
Yeah.
So it is 29,000 feet.
Yeah.
But they have, like, facts on here about the mountain, like when the first person summited it and the easiest direction to climb from and the cost to climb. One of the ones they put on here is the number of deaths. And they put this on here, and I can tell that they're trying to say it in a way that's supposed to look good. They're trying to like show it off as like, oh, there aren't that many deaths. But the number they put on here is less than 5 deaths per 100 summit attempts. Less than 5 per every 100. It's like,
So there's been thousands.
yes. There's basically every time, if you put 1,000 people up there, 50 of them will die. But it's just like, it's like, oh yeah, it's only 5% of people die. It's like, what the it's like, that's not good.
No, I'm trying to get a good side by side to be like, here we go.
So, to give you some comparisons. This is in meters, so this is not going to be good for any American viewers, but it's good for everyone else. So the tallest building, pretty much in the world, is the Burj Khalifa, which is 830 meters. 830 meters. Everest is 8,800 meters. Commercial airlines fly at 11,000 meters. So, commercial airlines only fly a few thousand feet above Everest regularly. So, yeah, you're basically up with planes. That's how high up it is. The atmosphere is extremely thin up there.
Probably very cold too.
Oh yeah. Like let me check the. I can just look up Mount Everest.
By the way, I like how even if you go to the highest place, you're cold, and if you go to the lowest place, you're still cold.
It depends.
Well, the Mariana Trench is the lowest place.
Well, yeah, but that's. I mean, if you go to the lowest place, you've been crushed to death.
Crushed and probably would be cold.
I mean, you'd be wet. Cold is weird when it comes to water. But yeah.
I thought it was the lower you go, the colder it's going to be.
Well, here's the thing. In rock, if you go down in in a cave, it tends to get warmer. The closer you are to the core of the planet, the warmer it gets. But water tends to be a stable temperature. So, in water, it would be very cold. But if you manage to phase through the rocks, you'd instantly gain, 80 degrees.
I guess.
So it's
I mean, yeah, that's probably why our ancestors lived in caves, because it was warm.
Well, and keeps out the temperature. As of 2019, so here, okay, this is a little bit better. This is what they should lead with. So the first descent up to Mount Everest was in 1953.
Yep.
So there have been ascents since then. So it's been over 50 years of ascents. Only 300 people, over 300 people have died on the trip. That sounds a little bit less bad. If you said that only 300 people have died, only around 300 to 400 people have died over the last 50 years of doing this. That sounds better than, 5% of people die.
Fuck, yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna look up the climate. Okay, so I'll put this into English perspective, but it actually doesn't matter. So the only times that you really want to go up the mountain is around June, July, August, in that area. During that time, from around June to September, the temperature is at its warmest, at 0 degrees. So, Fahrenheit. It's minus 18 Celsius. In the winter months, it gets to minus 36 Celsius. And Fahrenheit, because at around minus, 40-ish, they become the same thing. They cross. So, yeah.
That's cold.
Yeah, it's just minus 40 degrees up there.
I wonder how animals like snow leopards do it, surviving cold.
Yeah,
I know it has something to do with regular body heat or something.
Yeah, so here are some pressure measurements. So for PSI, Mount Everest, or I could put it in KPA, but we'll put it in PSI. Mount Everest summit has a pressure of 4.89 PSI. The Earth at sea level is 14.69 PSI. So that's just the weight of gravity at sea level. So we live at about sea level.
We're probably not exactly at sea level. In fact, I could figure out exactly how far we are from sea level right now. So I have an app for that now.
We are 853 feet above sea level.
Dang.
So at where we are right now,
It's 14 psi.
so basically the average.
Mount Everest, it's 4. So it basically feels like you have 1/3 of the gravity on you when you're on Everest.
I wonder how fast you would fall down the mountain.
Well, very. Because when you climb up, you're climbing up the more gentle side of the mountain. On the other side, it's basically sheer cliffs. So, very fast.
And for anyone who doesn't, who thinks about us colonizing Mars one day,
Yeah.
so for some context,
So, the Armstrong limit is a measurement of pressure where at this level of pressure, this is a very small level of pressure, by the way, water will boil at the temperature of the human body. So basically, if you have this little pressure, the water in your body will boil and you will die. Just if you have no suit on and just exist in this low of pressure.
Ooh.
You will instantaneously just die from the water in your body boiling.
Damn.
That level is 0.9 psi. So basically 1 psi. Everest again is at 4.89. So it's basically 5 times higher than the limit where your body boils. Mars's average pressure is 0.087. So it is basically over 10 times less than your body's water will boil alive.
Yeah, you'd have to have a
So
suit on.
you cannot go outside on the planet without a suit. You will boil.
Unless we design the planet to have an ecosystem.
It's not the problem. Again, people have talked about this for a long time. Because here's the... We live at like, the near perfect spot between our sun... from our sun. To have water that can freeze and boil. Mars is in the water... I think it's in the water freezes section, and never... Yeah, it's water is always frozen. And Venus is in water always boils. Venus has one of the thickest atmospheres in our solar system, behind only, like, Jupiter. Which, again, has an atmosphere so strong that it can turn hydrogen into a metal. Not a solid, a metal. It is insane.
Yeah, Jupiter would kill us.
If I remember correctly, Jupiter has a core of metallic hydrogen. It's that fucking insane. It's...
Fuck.
Yeah, Jupiter is literally just it is effectively a very, very tiny sun.
A death sentence.
Yeah, if it got like maybe about 2 or 3 times bigger, it'd just become a small sun. That is how big and dense Jupiter is. It is insane. It's also the reason why we're alive.
Really?
Yeah. The reason we get almost no meteors on the planet is because Jupiter's gravity is so big that anything coming anywhere near us basically gets catapulted
Redirected.
by Jupiter into either Jupiter or backwards. So we also use Jupiter for that. When we send spaceships on deep space journeys, we swing them around Jupiter because it speeds them up. Because its gravity's so big, it flings them. It's just like,
Amazing.
zoom! So,
Yeah, it's insane. So yeah, for context, so Mars, again, I can use these measurements. Mars's average pressure is 0.087. Again, standard for Earth is 14 and a half. This is 0.08. Venus is 1300.
1300.
Yes, it is 100 times more surface pressure. 100 fucking G's. Actually, I'm not sure PSI directly connects to G's, but it doesn't matter. Fucking insane. So it's like, people have talked about, let's just take some of the atmosphere off Venus and put it on Mars. And it's like, yeah, that's a cool idea, except for the fact that that's not possible, one, because it's not really easy to collect atmosphere, but two,
What if we make like a special kind of cone in a way that surrounds the entire planet?
here's the thing. Well, I was going to get to this. So, here's the thing. Creating an atmosphere is not hard. Warming up Mars is not hard. We, human beings, are experts at making things hotter. We are literally doing it to our planet. All the chemicals that we literally have banned from the planet because they cause way too much global warming could just be put there purposely to make it hotter. So, it is not hard to make the planet hot. The problem is, Mars has no magnetosphere. And the magnetosphere is the thing that means the atmosphere doesn't get just torn off by solar radiation. Because again, as the reason we have the solar, the aurora borealis is because the ozone layer is being hit by the sun. Like, magnetic particles are flying off the sun constantly and hitting the Earth. And the ozone layer just deflects them.
That way it doesn't hurt us.
Yeah, it literally prevents us from having no air. Mars does not have that. So, you either have to have everyone live in domes, which is the thing we will do, or geothermically alter the planet to make its core properly function, in quotes. The human race does not have anywhere near the technological levels to do that.
Yet.
And it is unclear if we will ever have the technological levels to do that. For context, so
Plus, that would.
I'm nerding out today on science. So let me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
we talked about mythological beings, which got me into talking. Yeah, we've talked about a lot today.
Yeah. Hold on,
Blinded me with
I'm gonna look up
science.
the. I'm gonna look up a classification system.
Second-hand emotion. Science rule.
Ah, yes, the Kardashev scale. So, yeah, let me read. I'll look up the Kardashev scale, not on futurism.com. Because the Kardashev scale is a very interesting scale. So, for anyone who is unfamiliar, the Kardashev scale is a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement. So basically, it says, how advanced is your society in its use of technology? And it is based on the amount of energy it is able to use.
Okay.
It is a very theoretical scale, because obviously, we have one civilization to analyze, ours, and no others. It was proposed in 1964 by a Soviet astronomer. So it is from Russia, from the 60s. Take that as a grain of salt. So, again, it's very hypothetical because we have no way of easily measuring it. So, it goes from
type 0 to type 6. I'm going to scroll down to get to types. Now, to be fair, when the guy proposed the scale, he did not include 0 and 4 and up. He only did 1, 2, and 3 because he believed 4 was impossible. Other people have created 4 through 6 and 0 as just extending his scale. So, a Type 1 civilization, it has 4 times 10 to the 19 ergs a second of energy consumption. That means nothing to anyone, including me. So I will be a bit more clear. 4 times 10 to the 12 watts. So the entire civilization must consume 4 times 10 to the 12 watts, I believe, a second.
And that was like when we first got electricity.
No, yeah. Here's the really weird thing about watts. Watts are an extremely weird scale, just to go on a quick tangent.
Okay.
Because when I say a watt, that doesn't really, like, what do you think that means?
Electricity.
Right. But what I mean by that is, if I say that...
Like, it's the amount of current running through whatever is electrified.
Right. But the problem with it is like, if I say, this light bulb consumes 50 watts, what does that mean?
50 power generated watt.
Yes. But it's like, I can say I have a 50 watt bulb in my lamp, but that doesn't tell you almost anything. Because the problem is, you don't know the scale by which it is being used. Because watts are basically they're a unit that is it's a unit that is a substitute for a better unit. So a watt is 1 joule per second. Now, if I told you my lamp uses 50 joules a second, that's useful to you, because you can then say, oh, so in an hour, I'm going to use 60 times 50 joules. But if I say my lamp uses 50 watts, you're like, 50 watts over what amount of time? What's the scale? Because, like, yeah, that lamp uses 50 watts constantly. So, that's why I don't like the watt, because the watt is a unit that sounds like it has time. It is such a terrible unit that they had to modify it. So, like, our power that we get in our house is not measured in watts. It's measured in kilowatt hours.
Wow.
So what that means is that it's the number of watts per hour the number of watts times the number of hours, which means that what they're measuring is joules. But rather than just say, your home has used 5,000 joules, they're like, no, we're going to call it kilowatt hours. It's like, just fucking use joules. That's what you're describing. Just say that our house used 87 kilojoules this month. Like,
by the way,
I hate watts.
Are we at time?
We are about at time. In fact, it has been 2 hours. So you can start wrapping up. I'm going to go over the Kardashev scale.
Okay, guys, we'll hatch the rest of these eggs, and then I think we'll wrap it up for the day.
Okay, so 4 times 10 to the 12 joules per second. A Type 1 civilization can harness all the energy that reaches its home planet from its star. A Type 2 civilization is fully capable of harnessing all energy reaching or coming from its star. So a Type 1A planet just says, okay, our sun exists. We can harness 100% of the sun's energy that hits our planet. A Type 2 civilization says, no, we can harness every bit of energy that comes from our sun, period. And then a Type... By the way, for power usage, 4 times 10 to the 26 joules a second. A Type 3 civilization can harness scale on energy on a galactic level.
Like, you'd be able to borrow sun's energy from other galaxies at that point.
Yeah. So, yeah, this type of civilization would be able to access the entire energy of our galaxy, which is about 4 times 10 to the 37 joules a second. So, Kardashev then said Type 4 was impossible. So he did not scale it. Type 4 civilizations, according to this other person, says that they would be able to harness extragalactic energy sources. Basically, they could harness dark energy directly.
So they could consume black holes.
Maybe. It is unclear where that would actually go, because who the fuck cares? At that point, it doesn't even matter. We are not a Type 1 civilization. We are not even on the scale. Like, we are a Type 0 civilization. We are below the scale. Which is why 0 was added.
Fuck. Okay, guys. It's time.
Yes.
Okay, guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. We had fun with our debates today, so like and subscribe to YouTube and Twitch, comment to your videos, do read them, follow on Twitch, and we'll see you guys in the next Shiny Hunt episode. Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.